Hi, my name is Chelsea Miller, and this is my presentation on the theory of planned behavior. The theory of planned behavior was an extension of the theory of reasoned action. It was developed in 1985 as a general model to predict and explain behaviors across a wide range of different types of behaviors. The theory of planned behavior can be applied to many ecological levels, but is most frequently applied to the individual level. This theory is often applied to studies about health-related decision-making, such as driving, smoking, any concept where a decision is made that would affect an individual's health, the health of a community, or the health of a global scale. The theory of planned behavior built on the theory of reasoned action. As you can see in the diagram, the theory of reasoned action is everything in the lighter blue. It had external variables which led to and affected behavioral beliefs, evaluations of a behavioral outcome, whether it would be good or bad, normative beliefs, and motivations to comply of, well, what would my family think of this? What would my friends think of this? Those became the attitude and subjective norms on which decisions were made. Those concepts led to the intention to either perform a behavior or not perform a behavior, which then led to the actual behavior. The theory of planned behavior took those items and added in the perceived control, this being one's ability to control their beliefs and the perceived power that they had to accomplish those beliefs. This became known as perceived control, which determined whether or not I think I can be successful at making the change. Between the attitude of yes I can or no I can't, the subjective norm of everyone around me thinks this is a good idea, so I think this is a good idea, and perceived control of can I do this, or is it something too far outside of my reach, all feed into the intention of whether or not to actually take on that behavior. The intention, once decided, then leads to either the change in the behavior or the lack of change in behavior. The case studies that I looked at were the theory of planned behavior, materialism, and aggressive driving by Efrat and Shoham, and college student texting and driving, testing the theory of planned behavior. These two case studies looked at how the theory of planned behavior applied to two different aspects of driving. What they found was that the belief for college students that it's okay to text and drive looked at, is it safe to text and drive? Do I really believe that I can cause an accident? Should I be texting and driving? For most college students, it was determined that there is a lack of belief that texting and driving will actually lead to causing accidents. This showed the planned behavior in that college students chose not to text while driving rather than believing that texting and driving could be dangerous. With materialism and aggressive driving, it was found that materialism does in fact escalate aggressive driving, and that those that are more materialistic and it's more important to them what they are doing can cause them to be more aggressive drivers. So the pros and cons of the theory of planned behavior. One of the pros is that the theory of planned behavior improved upon the theory of reasoned action. And while it addressed a lot of the problems that were in the theory of reason action, it also had its own issues, mostly being that it assumed that person acquired opportunities and resources would be successful in performing the behavior, regardless of whether a person intends to do that behavior. That basically saying, if I'm given the opportunity, then I will perform this behavior, whether or not I want to. There are other variables that it also doesn't account for. For instance, it doesn't account for environmental or economic factors of, while it takes into effect those social norms, it also leaves out, do I have the money to do this? Is this something that I can do in my home life? It doesn't account for, it looks at, can I do this? But it doesn't look at, is this realistic? Is this something that I need money for? If I need money for it and I don't have that money, will the intention still be the same? Or will it hold me back from making that choice because I can't? It also assumes that behavior is linear. That if this, then if this, and that, then this. It's a lot of if-then statements of if A and B, then C. It also, while it looks at perceived control, it doesn't address actual control. It looks at, can I do this? But it doesn't look at, I have the ability to do it. It doesn't necessarily look at, do I have the ability to do this? Ways to achieve effective behavior using the TPB. One of the ways that it addresses achieving effective behavior is through self-efficacy. Self-efficacy has been proven to be an important factor in behavior change. It's that belief of, can I do this? Yes. Let's make this change. Can I not do this? Why not? What can I do to change it? Effective behavior change is achieved mostly when it seems like it's not a big change. If it seems like it's something you can do, then you're more likely to do it. If it seems like it's something that is going to radically change your life, you may not do it due to fear or economic holdbacks. There are so many things that that stop you from being able to make that change. Attached here, you will see the references that I used for this paper.